Peace, love, and light, family. I hope the sun is shining wherever you are and you're living in your greatest purpose. Let's get into your messages. This is messages for Scorpios. Scorpios, checking to see what's in your energy. Okay. See the devil card showing up. Maybe a Capricorn thinking about you, or you're on their mind. Okay. Messages for Scorpio spirit. It's a very quiet one. Okay, so I'm seeing the quietness of how this card came out. I'm hearing that there's someone that wants to quietly like slide back into your life, slide back into your energy, or this is like a return. This is someone that you may not have seen for a while, someone that stopped talking to you. 8 of Cups. This may be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Someone has spent some time thinking about you. This 8 of Cups in reverse. It's like a I'm hearing a silent comeback, a silent return. And this may just mean that like you haven't seen this person in a while. You haven't, like, this person hasn't been in your energy. It may be someone returning back, and it also may be you. I'm really getting this energy that this may actually be you silently returning to someone as well, or you're returning from hermit mode. I'm hearing that this may actually have to do with, like, you know, you coming back to something. So for some of you, like, this Hermit card represents you in isolation, perhaps you in solitude. And I'm getting that this 8 of Cups that's coming in reverse is like it's a silent comeback that may have to do with you, which is in the 8 of Cups energy. And there's possibly something showing up about a connection as well as it relates to this comeback. Something relating to you. See? Yeah, this is a huge part of this energy that's showing up. This is your comeback into the world. This is like your reintroduction into the world after, for many of you, after having taken quite some time back. Some of you may actually be thinking about this at this time. And it may not necessarily mean that, you know, you're going to be social. It may just mean that there's something that you're going to be doing that's going to be the thing that reintroduces you to people. Because for quite some time, there are people that haven't seen you. You've been in isolation. They haven't heard from you. They don't know where you at. They asking about you. And I'm seeing that your spiritual team is telling you that for many of you, there's something that you are considering putting out into the world. It's possibly an idea that you have. This idea is going to be the thing that reintroduces you to the world. And your spiritual team is letting you know that, like, this reintroduction that you're about to have, and I'm seeing 444, you may be seeing 444 as well. This is in regards to your stability. 4 is in regards to your stability. this idea that you have is going to be the thing that reintroduces you to the world. For many of you, and for those who have not had contact with you for quite some time, and I'm seeing for many of you that this is intentional, because there were several tower moments in your lives as it relates to like previous relationships which are showing up. There were tower moments having to do with just a whole bunch of other things, and specifically this one, previous connections that you had. There may be like a past karmic that's gonna be shocked here, you know, when they see you. And I'm not seeing necessarily that they're going to see you. It's like you're going to be seen. Okay, some idea that you have. I'm hearing that this thing is supposed to reintroduce you back silently. This is like a silent comeback for you from hermit mode. For many of you, this is your silent comeback from hermit mode. And it's like this tower card I'm seeing. It's like they're not going to know what hit them. They really aren't. Okay, and this expression of like they're not going to know what hit them, that's how it's going to feel like for many people. It's like seeing this thing or seeing something. And for many of you, this silent comeback, I'm seeing it may have to do with like it may have to do with a new relationship. Okay, it may have to do with a relationship. There's something, or for many of you, there may be actually several things. For some of you, it's actually a community, a soul tribe that you've built, that, you know, people are watching that you have a community, that you built a family. And it's like, okay, well, you walked away from this one. Okay. And it's like the ones that you walked away from are going to see that it's like everyone that you walked away from, and you had a very specific reason for doing that, Scorpio. Everyone that you walked away from, they're going to have to watch you have whatever it is that they now wish they had with you. Like some of these folks that are showing up in the Lovers card are wishing that they had this relationship with you now, and it's too late for that, because this Temperance card is showing up as it relates to your soulmate, your someone that's going to be in your energy. For some of you, there's some folks that are showing up that used to be some of you used to be part of a community that you walked away from, and now they're gonna see that. So it's like the communities are gonna see that you have they're gonna wake up one day and they're just gonna see that they all have been replaced. And it's like by design, it's by divine intervention. And that's your silent comeback. They all are going to see that everything that they thought that you were lacking, that you didn't have as a result of them. Okay, so the community, they didn't think that you could find another community, and they're just gonna wake up and see this happen. You know, you have some karmic, you know, people, situationships that you may have left in your past. They're just gonna wake up one day and see that you're not in a situationship, you're in a full-blown relationship, and that's gonna shock the shock the hairs off of them. These relationships, your spiritual team is replacing your old relationships. It's like a complete wipe up. It's a new slate is being made for you. This is a cycle for many of you. And part of the reason why this has to do with your debt cancellation. When your spiritual team literally canceled some debt having to do with the relationships in your life, I'm seeing part of that meant that like the slate was wiped clean off of like karmic relationships. Now it's like brand new relationships are coming into your space, okay? The world, okay, that you know it, it's no longer going to be the same, okay? The world that you know it, it's no longer going to be the same. Everything, it's a complete new slate, okay? A completely new slate, a completely new thing is being done in you by your spiritual team, by the divine. Okay, so I tried this thing yesterday with the Pisces and Cancerian readings yesterday, and I'm gonna try this for the Scorpio readings today. All right, so tell me about this 8 of Cups. Okay. All right, so I'm seeing, ooh, look at what it says, y'all. Total disruption. Yeah. Talk about new slate. A total disruption. This quiet comeback is going to be a total disruption for many. Your quiet comeback is going to be a total disruption for many. 13, and look at that. This is your card. This is the death and rebirth card. Okay, let's look at okay, so I'm gonna see, so I see the Hermit. I'm gonna use that. The Lover's card. I'm going to use this, and I think this is equivalent to the Chariot. The World card, number 4, and Mother of Water, the Temperance card. All right, so let's see what this is saying. All right, so we asked what this 8 of Cups in reverse was, and I see it says Jumbi, total disruption, and it corresponds, that number 13 corresponds with the death and rebirth card. Your silent comeback truly is going to be a total, see, this is the death and rebirth card. You're going to be having a silent comeback that's going to be a total disruption for the people that you walked away from. Your silent comeback is not a comeback to them. This is where your spiritual team is going to reintroduce you back into the world, okay? This is where you're going to be reintroduced back into the world, all right? And it says here, the correspondence is death. The ancestral medicine is this: fear of change and fear of death are two huge fears of those who walked before. Your ancestors are calling on you to release fear and rise as yourself with all the lessons from the past in your heart. See, you're not going to be walking the same, okay? First and foremost, your reintroduction into the world, like your spiritual team is not just going to have you walk back any kind of way. Your reintroduction into the world, the divine is saying your reintroduction is going to be a complete disruption to those that you walked away from those that you severed ties with. The divine is not going to just let you walk back out like that, because the one that they knew before has now is done. It's past. Okay, this is why the death card is here. The you that they knew before is no longer here. So they can call on that person all they want. They're not going to get a response. And when you go back into the world, into the realm of the 3D, because your spiritual team kept you in hermit mode to work on you spiritually, to work on your third eye, so you could see different, you could speak different, you could walk different, you feel different. All your chakras have been enhanced. You're not going to look the same. You're not going to speak the same. You're not loving, feeling, having the same BS that you used to. This is what's going to be a total disruption to those who once knew the old you. Okay? And when I'm hearing that this is going to be a silent comeback, the divine is saying that the silent part of it is because they didn't know that that's what you were getting ready for before you stepped out. The silent part of this comeback is the preparation that your spiritual team was making in order for you to be reintroduced into the world as this badass mama jamma. Okay. Yep. And I'm seeing here that the divine is saying people fear the Jumbi as a messenger of death. However, the Jumbi is most potent as a messenger of life. Ooh-wee. Jumbi reminds us to embrace the changes of life. Jumbi is as much about beginnings as it is endings. Again, your reintroduction into the world is going to be a disruption for many. Look at this. What? Okay. That was weird. Yeah, it's gonna be a disruption for many, all right. And as we speak, Scorpios, like literally, like a fly just out of nowhere, a huge fly just literally, and I have to speak on this one because this is just the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Okay, a huge fly just literally made its way like around the cars, and I was just like, what? Like it came out of nowhere. And that startling energy that just showed up, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to be startled because for many of them, they just knew that you were gone based on what they did. Okay? And it's like you represent death and rebirth, and a lot of folks forget that. Okay? A lot of folks forget that the most powerful and potent part of who you are is the rebirth part, and this is that part that's going to cause the disruption for these folks. Okay, this is that part that's going to cause the major disruption for these folks. Okay, 44. All right, so many of you were in hermit mode. Okay, you are being worked on by your spiritual team, and your spiritual team was doing and is still doing necessary work in you. Oh, and speaking of 44, right? Didn't we just say something about 444? So again, confirmation, you may actually be seeing 444. Okay? The ancestral medicine regarding to this is if something is out of alignment with your nervous system, you will reject it. This includes all your intentions, goals, dreams, plans. And I'm seeing that this right here is connected to the Hermit card because before you come out, before you get reintroduced to the world, your spiritual team was putting you back in alignment. See, this is all the background stuff that they may not know about that was happening. This is the silent stuff that was going on in the background that they didn't know about. Okay? And I'm seeing there's something significant about the karmic relationships that you were in. And I'm not even going to call them relationships. I'm going to call them situationships because that's what they're showing up as. There are going to be these karmics that once thought that they were the shit and they were the only one. They were the only thing since sliced bread that are going to see you reintroduced to the world. And out of all of these folks that's going to be shocked, okay, these karmic situationships, people that represent these karmic situationships are going to experience some of the most major disruptions, because they're going to see you thrive victoriously in a new one. And see that? And this, I believe, is the Chariot card. Yep, confirmation. So the tarot correspondence for this is the Chariot card. And it says this: it's go time, my child. If we fail to plan, we plan to fail. For many of your ancestors, planning was a luxury they didn't have. This is your nudge to keep going. Get your strut on. Did you hear that? Go on and strut your stuff, Scorpio. Go on and strut your stuff, because they're going to see you strut your stuff in a relationship that they never thought or knew that you could actually have. Because a lot of these karmics, they use sex magic to bind you, okay? They use sex magic to bind you. They did ish to literally blind you from seeing someone else. Like, a lot of these karmic like situationships really could have potentially kept you bound and never be in a new. And look at that. Speak of number 4 again. See? 444. Confirmation. Okay. The World card represents your success. It's a lot going on here, Scorp. So apologies if it just seemed like I'm jumping from one thing to another, because it's like the messages are coming so quick. They're coming really quick, fast. This is what's happening. This is how disruptive. This is how they're gonna get disrupted. It's gonna show up really quick, fast. Okay. Oh, look at you. Right after victory, you got an Emperor showing up in your energy. This is the correspondence of this is the Emperor card. And the divine is saying this: act as if you're regal, act as if you're powerful, act as if you are wise. This is a different frequency than fake it till you make it. You have no need to fake anything. Your arteries and bones remember the royalty in your DNA. So when you step out there and you get reintroduced, you're gonna remember that you have royalty in your DNA, Scorpios. And people are gonna see you walk in that kind of energy, because that's just what it is. And this is why this Patriot card is showing up with the World card, because the success that you're going to be experiencing, one of the most successful things that you're going to experience is the remembrance that you are royalty and you have always been royalty. Okay, so the last one I'm seeing, the Mother of Water, emotional self-care, 30. And this corresponds with the Temperance. This is an energy of balance. This is the energy of your spirit guides talking to you, okay, confirming some things here. Deep breath. Get ready for this. Okay, the correspondence of this is the Queen of Cups. All right. You have protection possibly from a Queen of Cups, and you also have protection you have protection with some spirit being, some mother figure that's showing up in the Queen of Cups. It's two aspects to this, which is what this Temperance card also represents. So for some of you actually dealing with the Queen of Cups, that's a major pain in your you-know-what that's going to see you come back. For many of you, this is a mother figure that didn't claim you, that didn't, see your worth, see your value, okay? They're going to see you come back, okay, with your spirit guides, all right? They're going to see you come back represented by a spirit figure, a mother spirit figure that did the work that they were supposed to have done, okay? And it says the ancestral medicine for many of your ancestors, embodying love was a liability. Being vulnerable left them open to being hurt in perilous situations. When you choose the power of openness and vulnerability, you heal them. You do not need to make choices from fear and lack in the same way they did. Everything that you thought that you lacked, This rebirth cycle is literally healing all of those things back in you. This is going to be a very sudden revelation to some. For many, they're going to, they thought that there was some, you know, for some of them, they thought that you were at a loss with love, at a loss in your relationships, at a loss financially. Okay. And the divine is healing all of that back. For many, there's a community of people that thought that they were the shiznit, that they were the best thing since sliced bread, that you weren't going to find your soul tribe, and here you are, you've created one. This is the disruption that many of these folks are going to be introduced. This is the disruption that they're going to experience when they see that you are reintroduced into the world. All right. Whew. Take a deep breath, Scorpios, because it is time for you to be reintroduced into the world. And this reintroduction is going to be a major disruption for those who didn't value you, for those who didn't see your worth, for those who are seeing your rebirth from death. That is the message. If this message resonates, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, love, peace, and divine light.